June 22, 1986. Mexico City. 114,000 people are packed inside the Azteca Stadium. In the next 4 minutes, one man will commit the most famous crime in football history. And then, he will score the greatest goal ever seen. By the same man. In the same match. This is the true story of the hand of God. Look at this photo. Look closely. A 5'5" genius, rising above England's goalkeeper. The ball is about to cross the line. The crowd is about to erupt. But something here is wrong. Very, very wrong. To understand this moment, we have to go back 4 years. 1982, Argentina and Britain went to war over the Falkland Islands. The conflict lasted 74 days. More than 900 lives were lost. Argentina was defeated. And humiliated. So when the World Cup draw put Argentina against England in the quarter-finals, this was never just football. For millions of Argentines, this was revenge. Maradona admitted it himself, years later. He said it felt like recovering a little piece of the Falklands. June 22. High noon at the Azteca. More than 2,200 meters above sea level. Brutal heat. Thin air. The most politically charged quarter-final in World Cup history is about to kick off. Diego Armando Maradona is 25 years old. Captain of Argentina. The best footballer on planet Earth. And in the next 10 minutes of this match, he will show the world both sides of his genius. The angel. And the devil. The first half ends scoreless. The tension is suffocating. Then, 6 minutes into the second half, it happens. Maradona dribbles into the box and plays a pass. England midfielder Steve Hodge tries to clear it, but he slices the ball backwards, high into his own penalty area. Now it's a race. The ball hangs in the air. Goalkeeper Peter Shilton charges out. Shilton is 6'1". Maradona is 5'5". Shilton just needs to punch it clear. Easy. Routine. Impossible to mess up. Right? Maradona leaps. And in mid-air, he does something unbelievable. He raises his left fist next to his head, and punches the ball over Shilton, into the net. The referee is 40 yards away. The linesman keeps his flag down. Goal. Argentina lead, 1-0. The England players explode. Shilton chases the officials. Terry Fenwick is screaming, slapping his own hand. But the Tunisian referee, Ali bin Nasser, looks to his Bulgarian linesman, Bogdan Dachev. Neither of them saw it. The goal stands. And here is the insane part. Maradona knew. He later confessed he was waiting to get caught. He said, "I was calling my teammates, telling them, come hug me now, or the referee is not going to allow it." He cheated in front of 114,000 witnesses. And he got away with it. Now, if the story ended there, Maradona would simply be remembered as a cheat. But football is never that simple. Because exactly 4 minutes later, the same man did something that nobody on earth could do. Minute 55. Maradona receives the ball inside his own half, with his back to goal. He spins between 2 England players in one touch. And then, he just runs. He beats Beardsley. He beats Reed. 60 yards of grass. 10.8 seconds. Hodge cannot catch him. Butcher lunges. Too late. Fenwick tries to simply foul him. He can't even do that. Shilton rushes out, desperate. Maradona feints, glides around him, and with Butcher crashing into his legs, slides the ball into the empty net. 2-0. The Azteca loses its mind. Even England fans are standing. In the commentary box, Uruguayan broadcaster Victor Hugo Morales screamed words that became legend. "Cosmic kite. What planet did you come from? Thank you God. For football. For Maradona. For these tears." In 2002, FIFA officially voted it the goal of the century. The greatest goal ever scored. Stop and think about that. The most infamous goal in football history. And the greatest goal in football history. Scored by the same man. In the same match. 4 minutes apart. It had never happened before. It will never happen again. After the match, journalists cornered Maradona. They demanded answers about the first goal. Was it a handball, Diego? He smiled. And then he delivered the most famous quote in the history of sport. It was scored a little with the head of Maradona. And a little, with the hand of God. England went home heartbroken. Gary Lineker, who scored England's only goal that day, later admitted it was the one time in his career he felt like applauding an opponent. Peter Shilton felt differently. He never forgave Maradona. To this day, he still hasn't. 1 week later, Maradona lifted the World Cup trophy into the Mexican sky. He had carried Argentina almost single-handedly. 5 goals. 5 assists. The kid from the slums of Buenos Aires was now immortal. In Naples, they painted him on walls, like a saint. And the referee? Ali bin Nasser never took charge of another World Cup match. But decades later, Maradona traveled to Tunisia to visit him, and handed him a signed shirt. The dedication read, "For Ali, my eternal friend." The linesman, Bogdan Dachev, went to his grave insisting it was never his fault. On November 25, 2020, Diego Maradona died of a heart attack. He was 60 years old. Argentina declared 3 days of national mourning. Millions wept in the streets. The man who cheated a nation, was mourned like a king by his own. 2 years later, the shirt Maradona wore that day sold at auction for $9.3 million. At the time, the most expensive piece of sports memorabilia ever sold. The match ball he punched into the net. Another $2.4 million. The crime scene had become a treasure. So, was it cheating? Yes. Was it genius? Also yes. The hand of God is football's perfect paradox. Proof that the beautiful game was never really about being fair. It's about being unforgettable. If this story gave you chills, subscribe right now. Because next time, we expose the match-fixing scandal that nearly destroyed Italian football. And you will not believe who was involved.